What is up, you guys, and welcome to the Upper 90, where we talk about soccer, aka football. Today's topic is going to be on Chelsea versus Manchester City and see who wins the Champions League. Now, as you see, I'm wearing one of my jerseys here, so this video may be a little biased, but let's dive deeper into this. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Michael Forstner, huge Chelsea fan, love talking about soccer, the Premier League, and all other leagues. But today we're focusing on the Champions League, which is coming up this Saturday between Manchester City and Chelsea. Now, the first thing I want to talk about are the two managers that are going to head-to-head with this. Now, we have Pep Guardiola and we got Thomas Tuchel, two phenomenal coaches in the Premier League. Now, obviously, Pep Guardiola has been here before, but this is the first time for Manchester City. So I think that's going to play a huge factor in the nerves, not only for Pep Guardiola, but for the players. Now, like I said, he's been here before with Barcelona. He's won it before with them, so he's no stranger to the Champions League final. So I think that will help him out quite a bit. But again, like I said, there is probably going to be a little bit of nervousness, maybe a little bit of anxiety with Manchester City, because if they don't do well, that's going to be a huge blow to his reputation, even though he's already way up there, so it won't be like a big drop. But the fact that he's not able to win at Manchester City may kind of put a shadow on his overall performance as a manager. Now, Thomas Tuchel, again, he's also a manager that's been there before. He was there last year, even with PSG, even though they lost with PSG against Bayern. So I think Thomas Tuchel probably has a little bit of fire in his belly, thinking he needs to win it this time, because if he doesn't, that's another thing that put a shadow over his whole coaching experience as well. Now, not only is he the only manager, but Thiago Silva is also there from PSG, so I think he's also going to have that fuel in his fire that he's going to want to push forward and make sure they win it this year as well, because nothing worse than losing back-to-back Champions League finals. So I think that's going to be a huge factor for this team. Now, overall, I think they're fairly equal. Again, I'm going to give the nod to Pep Guardiola just because he's been here before. He's done a lot of great things in his time as a manager. Thomas Tuchel, again, not knocking him or taking anything away from him, but I think he's just slightly a downgrade from Pep Guardiola. But again, I'm happy with either manager in this situation. Obviously, I think Thomas Tuchel can lead Chelsea into winning the Champions League, and we'll see what happens. Now, the next part I want to look into is the teams themselves, the squad, the players, and how they compare to each other. Now, across the defensive line, I think we're fairly equal. I think Diaz and Stones is probably going to start for Manchester City. I believe Chelsea is probably going to do back three with Rudiger, Thiago Silva, and Azpilicueta. Reece James may flip-flop with that, and on the left wing we'll also have Ben Chilwell. So overall, I think that's fairly solid and pretty equal, most likely. We're not going to see too many goals this game, but again, we never know what could happen. Now, I want to back up a little bit too and also talk about the goalkeepers, because I think goalkeepers, if Mendy is starting, is pretty equal to Ederson. I would actually give the nod to Mendy. The problem is, though, is that Mendy did pick up an injury in the last game of the season against Aston Villa, and we're not too sure if he's going to be match fit. And if he's not, that is going to be a huge blow to this Chelsea squad, because I think the defense has more confidence with Mendy behind them in between the sticks than Kepa. Not saying Kepa's not a great goalkeeper, but again, there's been so many issues with him. We saw in the Arsenal game, we've seen in multiple games, even against Leicester. And it's just one of those that, yeah, he's good, but the defense, their confidence just tanks when he's back in between the sticks. So I think if Mendy's starting, we should be pretty equal back line and goalies. Now, in the midfield, I think that's where it gets a little bit more trickier, a little bit hairier between the two, because I think, again, Manchester City probably has the better midfield. Kevin De Bruyne being one of those midfielders. Goudion, if he's starting as well, is also phenomenal. And then, again, between Chelsea, we have multiple players that can rotate in there. If it's Conte, Kovacic, Jorginho, I'm not too sure who's Tuchel's going to start, because he's always tinkering around with his team. But I think Conte and Kovacic will probably be the starting players. Even though Jorginho may be starting, I think he has been doing very well in these last couple matches, and I think he should be on the bench starting off this game. But again, we will see. Now, up the top, I actually want to give the nod to Chelsea, even though we have been struggling with goal scoring. Most likely Timo Werner who's been struggling the most. But overall, I think our top three are actually just slightly better than Manchester City's top three. Now again, they're both phenomenal top threes, so don't say, oh, Chelsea's so much better. It's, again, very, very close. But with Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, and again, Timo Werner still contributes a lot to goals, even though he's not scoring goals. I think he's still a great player for Chelsea, though I think we need to also pick up another striker that can score goals. But overall, I think those three guys are pretty solid. And again, we may put Pulisic in there. Ziyech, we don't know exactly what we're going to do again because Thomas Tuchel is always playing mind games for the most part. Whereas Manchester City, they obviously have Aguero, Jesus, Mahrez, and Sterling. I mean, they have so many players, Phil Foden as well. So all those guys too. I'm not sure if they're all going to start, who's going to play where. But overall, I think both are pretty good, but again, I'm giving the nod to Chelsea just a little bit. So that's what I have for the teams themselves. So overall, I think this match is going to be fairly equal. I think the big deciding factor is going to be who scores first. Now, again, I think both clubs are going to be very defensive mindsetting, and so I don't think there's going to be too many chances. But again, whoever does score first is going to definitely have the better takeaway from this because once they score, they can definitely sit back and kind of dictate the game a lot more. It's not like either team is really a counter-attacking team. They both want to play aggressively. They both do kind of the gegenpressing. But again, once they have that goal, they're definitely going to want to sit back just a little bit and kind of maintain that lead. So if Chelsea can score first, I think they can end up winning this game, though I think Manchester City could definitely come back and still win the game. But if Manchester City scores first, I think the game's over before it even starts because I don't think we're going to be able to break down Manchester City if they start pushing back the defense quite a bit. So overall, my prediction for this is going to be actually 2-1. And believe it or not, I think Chelsea is going to win this. I think it's going to go 1-up Chelsea. Then Man City's going to come back, and I think Chelsea's going to finish the game scoring one more in a late, like 88th minute or so. Not sure which player is going to be scoring it, but again, I think Chelsea's going to be winning this 2-1. And if that happens, I'll be ecstatic. I'll be happy as long as Chelsea wins. But again, I think we have a huge uphill battle trying to beat Manchester City. So that's all I have for you today. If you did like this video, comment down below what you liked or what you think, who's going to win, what the outcome is going to be. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel because I greatly appreciate that. It means a lot when you actually subscribe to this and hit the bell and thumbs up for this because, again, it goes a long way with helping with the YouTube algorithm. So, again, thank you very much. We'll probably talk about this come Saturday, if not Sunday, and recapping, hopefully with Chelsea winning and hopefully with a smile on this guy's face. So, we'll see you next time.